Hey, this is Ashley from Center Stage. We know you ain't gonna pay for it, so please click the subscribe button below and watch some of the ads that we have on our videos to help us bring you more tips and tricks for ukulele, bass, and guitar. That's the only way we can keep bringing this stuff to you. So check out this video, and on the next one, please watch the ad, click and subscribe, and then we'll see you next time. So in this lesson, I'm gonna just do some improvisational stuff. This is some really basic, fundamental, beginner improvisational things. Basically just some simple riffs or simple tools that you can use to start building, use them as building blocks for making your own bass lines. So yeah, cool bass riffs or cool things you can do with the bass to make your own bass lines. To begin with, I want to talk about, I'm going to call it the flat 7 riff. And it's really simple. It's just an extra note. So if you're playing with somebody and they're saying, hey, let's jam on D. We're going to jam in D or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to play a D here, and I'm just going to keep on playing this D over and over and over again. That's going to get boring, and you're going to want to start exploring. So yeah, don't be boring, just start to explore. The first thing you can do is look at the flat 7th. And what this is a note that is just 2 frets down from the key, the jam that you're in. So if you're jamming in D, going down 2 frets to this note. This is the flat 7th. Now, let me preface this by, when I'm talking about when you're jamming with a guitar player or something like that, they're usually playing in minor keys, so this will work fine. There are instances when you're playing in a major key where this will not work. However, most jam instances involve the minor and involve a flat 7. And bass is flexible in this regard because sometimes you can play a riff that might not be exactly in the key, but it can still be cool and it can still work. So of course everything is done by ear. What sounds good to you is good. So, but here's just some tools. So the flat 7. Now, in playing bass, it's always good to be playing the fundamental of the key or the chord of the moment on the downbeat. This is one of the most fundamental things about bass playing. That's the strongest thing you can do is on the 1. Boom, you're hitting the D. So we're jamming in D. So you're always hitting D on the 1. What we're trying to find is places to go away from the D so that we can come back to the D. And the simplest one is the flat 7. So if I'm playing, the drummer's rocking out, and the guitar player's having a great time, and I want to do something interesting. Let me count this too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So I'm just switching to the flat 7th for the last beat of the bar, and then coming back to the D on the downbeat on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So that's as simple as I could possibly make it. You can play around with this to create bass lines just using those 2 notes. Always keeping in your mind that this is the keynote. This is the one that we have to come back to, that we always have to land on when we want a strong downbeat. So one, 1. So as you can see, I'm just sort of going back and forth between the notes, creating some sort of phrase, but I'm always coming back to that one to land strong, to give a good strong downbeat. So that's the flat 7. The next one is we're going to add another note. We're going to add the other really strong note in bass playing, which is the 5th. So the 5th and the flat 7 together. And the 5th, like, we're going to use the key of D just to keep it simple and keep it straight ahead. The 5th is always one string lower on the same fret on a bass. So there's the 5th. We have the flat 7th, and we have the tonic of, or the key that we're jamming in. So as soon as I add this other note now, I can start creating much more complicated bass lines. I'm always coming back to the D on the 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. And you can play with this. You know, you can hold back the D and build up a little tension. 1. But we're still in D this whole time. Even though I'm playing these other two notes, the jam, quote unquote, is still in D. You know, there's always all this stuff going on around it. You're holding it down here. Every once in a while, or on those strong beats, you come back to the D on the 1. And we're just using these other notes to create tonality, to create motion, to create something interesting, okay? So you can use the 5th by itself. I'm using the 5th above too. And the most common example of this is the country beat. We're using the 1 and the 5. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're always coming back to the 1 on the D. So stylistically, you can use these combination of notes in any style. It doesn't have to be rock and roll, it doesn't have to be jazz, it doesn't have to be country or blues. You can use it in all of them. So there's a country-ish or bluesish idiom, bluegrass, whatever you want to call it, using the 5th and the flat 7th in D. The rock thing we've been doing. We can even do it reggae style. Like that. So same notes, a lot of the same patterns, but applying the different styles to it to come up with interesting bass lines using the same set of tools. Okay, so we got the flat 7, we've got the 5. Now we can do something that's going to be definitely more tonal, that's going to be specific to the minor keys, and we'll use the flat 3rd. So now I'm creating this little box here, if you're noticing, and I have other lessons about the pentatonic minor scale that gets into all this. But I'm just trying to give you some little tidbits of it here so that you can start using them quickly. So here's the minor 3rd. So now, going back to the first example, one, 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 one. So you see how I'm building longer phrases, holding back the D a little bit longer to create some more tension and stuff, but I'm using these other notes. The minor, the flat 3, this note right here, is really only going to work in minor tonalities. So when they're saying, hey, let's jam in D, hopefully it's D minor. But again, bass can be flexible. There are times when you can play this minor tonality in the bass, even though the chords the guitar player is playing is major, and it still sounds cool. You've heard it a million times in music, so don't be afraid to try stuff, okay? Again, these are just little building blocks for you to piece together like Legos to come up with your own Lego model or whatever, your own bass line. One, 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 one. So I'm sort of screwing around now, but that gives you the idea. So in D, we've got the flat 7, and we've got the 5, and the octave of the 5, and the flat 3. So just a quick, to make the point, let's say, oh, wait a minute, I want to jam an E now. All we have to do is take this pattern, these building blocks, scoot them up 2 frets, so now this is E here, right? You can do the same pattern. And now I've got a whole new thing going on. So that's what I'm trying to teach you here. Just some little chunks to put together to start creating some cool bass lines. These are about as basic as they come. And, you know, pretty soon you'll be writing your own bass lines and everybody will be like, how do you come up with that? And you're just putting these tools together. So have fun with it, jam, try stuff, don't be afraid.